Labor has handed down its third budget, spruiking a raft of cost of living measures. It's intended to artificially lower inflation and pressure the Reserve Bank to cut rates. Well, we'll have to wait and see whether that happens or not now. But joining us live out of Canberra, Andrew McKellar, the CEO of the Australian Chamber of Commerce. Andrew, good to see you. Thanks for your time as always. So we've had a bit more time to crunch through the numbers now. In your view, is it going to help or hurt business?
Well, morning, Pete. Look, I think there's not a huge amount in it directly for business. I think what business fundamentally was looking for was a clear sign that there's a medium-term strategy to get the budget back into better shape, that we would be reducing net debt over the medium term. Now, we're not seeing that beyond this year, a surplus this financial year. That's a good achievement, but out over the medium term, we're seeing higher spending, higher deficits and higher debt. So we are concerned that that won't take the pressure off inflation and it won't take the pressure off interest rates.
So that's your view in the I mean, so we've kind of got short-term gain for long-term pain. Without that medium-term strategy, what happens to business then if that's not brought under control?
Well, I think what business is looking for is to get those fundamentals right. At the moment, small business in particular is absolutely struggling against a tide of regulation, red tape, but we need to ease those cost pressures. One of the best ways to deliver cost of living relief and relief in terms of business costs is get to a situation where interest rates can start coming down. Now, if I wasn't alarmed already, I was alarmed after hearing your interview a short time ago with the ACTU President, Michelle O'Neill, because what she was pointing to was not only the fact that we have those question marks over the budget strategy, but the unions signalling that they're going after wages. If we have those two things pushing together, it's going to be even harder again to get interest rates going down. So I think that's a real warning bell for business and for the Australian economy.
So yeah, she did say this was good for wages, but long term, what if businesses don't make it and they can't afford to pay them? Is that the line that you're taking?
Well, absolutely, and the one word that seems to escape the union movement is productivity. That's one of the things that we are looking for in the overall strategy. We didn't see a lot of that last night, and I think really here it's about how do we free up that opportunity to make Australian business much more competitive. We've got to invest in innovation. We've got to invest in skills. We've got to be making our markets more competitive. If we're not doing that, then we're not going to see those benefits.
Are they not doing that with the longer term plans, Future Made in Australia, with its tax breaks, housing plans? Can they be success stories?
Well, look, I think it's an interesting strategy, and of course we keep an open mind on that. The concern I would have is, whilst it's been much vaunted, when you look at the detail, and there's a list of different measures there as long as your arm, it adds up to $22.7 billion over 10 years.
Yeah.
In practical terms, I'm not sure that that's enough to shift the needle, so I don't think it's a huge risk, but at the same time, I'm not sure that it's going to be enough to really drive that sort of new investment.
What about these energy rebates, Andrew, not just for households but businesses too?
Oh, look, they are welcome, of course. So, I mean, I think there are many businesses and many households who are struggling with those higher costs. Absolutely. Look, we want to see fundamental energy market reform, and the government last week announced its future gas strategy. That was a step in the right direction because, gas is an important part of that energy transition. So I think, with bigger picture items like that, business is more confident.
Is that inflationary? Just to wrap up?
Look, it's not inflationary. The energy bill relief will obviously detract from the headline CPI. Does it do anything for underlying inflation? I think that's the real question, and I'm not convinced that it does a whole lot in that area.
Good to see you, Andrew. We'll talk to you soon.